Hi ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel, and today we are doing F1 Manager 2000 Part 3. So in the previous episode we did fairly well. Of course we got ourselves a second podium, and we need to ensure that we're going to do our testing today. So we're going to build our new testing and look at our constructors and our driver point championship. We're doing quite well, by the way, so it's looking good so far. We should, at this rate, seeing as third episode, we are like second in the championship, just behind Ferrari by 10 points, but that's not too bad because our objective is top 3. But on today's episode we gotta have to like kind of get our sponsorships back. Well, we can just try Patronus, but they give us an opportunity to actually put in certain like positions where you want the sponsorship to be in, which I hope the new F1 manager seem like it doesn't have it, unfortunately. Could have like you change like our liveries per season with like different sponsorships, but maybe just like try get and like paint our sponsorships back onto the car before our next race, well, test day begins. So that's our main objective right now, is that we are gonna ensure that we get new pods, because we did get a new pod right before the last episode, but we're gonna test that. But we're just gonna focus on this part first. So we're here at our second testing of I think 3 testing times we have here in this game. So we got a new front wing, so this is what we're gonna try to do. We're gonna try like test it out before we actually get into our main race, which is going to be the next weekend. So we're gonna like make sure we fit in the new parts for our car, and here we're gonna test it. We're just gonna like give the upgraded parts, if you get what I mean here. So this is the new ones even. So basically our objective here is just to see if we can actually do better, which I'm pretty sure we definitely will, seeing being this is new parts in general. But the nice thing about this game, like I'm not gonna lie though, is that when you do a car setup, it saves. So at least when it comes to when we race at Barcelona, we will have the ability to actually put in this XM, so what our test driver drives essentially. So that's the big purpose here. So at this point we are like at lap 10 now. So far it's not looking too bad. We are currently first, of course, which is like no one's on the track. So basically we had some improvement this far. Like I feel like these new parts should give us an advantage. Let's see who's out here. So Nick Heinfeld is out here with the McLaren, and the Prost is also out here. So I feel like for this qualifying or like testing, McLaren should do better than us, but they have been hampered with reliability issues in the previous episodes. If anyone watched that, they've only qualified better than us, I think, on the one occasion. And what had happened was that they both DNF'd in the first race, and second race I think pretty sure Hakkinen then DNF'd. But we can see now Nick Heimfeld has just passed us in terms of laps. He did that in less laps than we did to begin with, which kind of gives me like annoyance, is that the fact that we should be beating them at this point, but it's not that deep, if you get what I'm feeling. But yeah, as you can see, our nice speed for Jordan out here. Basically we're gonna tell him to pit in here, just ensure that we have his parts in the correct zone, and like also his sort of setup, so at least we can get some sort of improvement for when we actually come into Barcelona. With testing being out the way now, we are now focusing on race weekend, which is now. So we're going to be racing at San Marino, and right next to it is Monaco right after. So it's going to be event for next racing, especially for Monaco. But anyway, let's just go forth and advance with our next step. So I just skipped out on the free practice, but seeing We did not badly. We got into points. So it's going to be 5th and 6th for the time we're going to qualifying. But the McLarens and Ferrari seem like they're going to be very dominant this weekend. Of course, although we have some betting on McLaren, who will have a potential DNF at some point because that car is quite unreliable right now. But anyway, we can just advance to our qualifying, which is going to be, this is where we need to make as much damage as possible. And I've done the setup already for both the drivers, so we should be able to have some good performance. But let's change their parts in case we have an issue with our engines or any like bodies or anything like that. So it seems like they should be good for this weekend. So let's just ship out Damon Hill and see if he could do some madness here. He does post quite a good time. Let's put him in. As you can see our car, and we seems like no one else is out the track at the moment, but we're still sitting in P1 provisionally. And as he approaches back into the pits, we just gotta accelerate and make sure his setup is proper. Okay, we're just gonna change something, tweak his front wing a bit, and then Heinz, I think it's time for you to get up here. And the one thing I've realized while doing free practice was that we have an issue with currently with our fuel. So the fuel is not really doing justice because the consumption, right now from this track is way too high. So we gotta, for the race strategy is gonna be quite spicy. But there's Heinz Harold pushing on. We're currently still sitting P2 and 1. Okay, we gotta, but the big boys haven't really gone onto track. But we can just make sure he changes his setup. But they have quite similar setups what they're running for this Grand Prix, so I'm not too like worried about that. And that's where we start declining with the Ferraris and McLaren pushing in. So I think let's just try and put Damon Hill out of track again and see if we can better our lap, because at least we can get Irvine. To be honest, we have done that before and I feel like we can do this again. But you can see he's not improving though, which is what I don't like though. That's the issue right now. So basically we might have an issue because Ralf Schumacher has also posted time close to us, but I feel like Heinz Harold should give us some magic as he has done before, because he has outqualified Damon Hill on 2 occasions. So I think we have done it so far, but I also feel like that Ferrari is going to destroy us. Seeing free practice, they did some magic right there. But maybe, I feel like you have to stay optimistic at this point, thinking about how we should be able to perform. But at the same time, those cars are flying. They are flying very much. But at least we need to be by points as much as possible. Just as long as we get P5 and 6. Seeing like this is the old pointing setup at the moment. But it seems like there's no improvement. And he's on lap 10. So I feel like for the last 2 laps, Damon Hill has to risk everything. Unfortunately, we need to ensure that as long as he does not crash, because I know this game also tends to let the driver crash whenever they're doing risk everything. It also depends on the overall rating. So if you use someone like Jacques Villeneuve, he'll definitely crash for some reason. I don't know why, but Damon Hill, I trust you. Hopefully you will like provide us as he goes into an old setup of Imola where the chicane's that side instead of the straights as we have now.
Johnny Herbert.
Don't show me Johnny Herbert. Maybe he outqualified us. No, he hasn't. But he seems like he could do some improvement. He has done some improvement, but That's not fast enough, unfortunately, for the rivals we currently. Ooh, and they almost hit with the bar right there. Can Heinz Harold at least? I have faith in Heinz Harold. I just have so much faith in this guy in terms of qualifying this far. See, Sector 1, he's quite fast. So he has a good Sector 1. His TP's done. He has just crashed. I think. I don't know if it was a pod issue. No, it doesn't seem like there was a pod issue. So it's just, unfortunately, driver error, which, like I said, it's quite common. But I feel like this is going to be it for our standings. I don't think much people are going to change at this, like, latter stage of this. So that's the end of qualifying. 5th and 6th, which we're in points, but we could at least catch on to Irvine for 4th. And we also have that reliability issue by McLaren we can bank on. We're here at the race start here. P4, P5. We have Irvine right behind us. Can Damon Hill and Heinz defend and get us the points we need? And it's a race start, it's a clean start right here. Ooh, and Irvine's really trying to make a move right here. He's quite close. I feel like he would dive on the first corner. Coming the first corner. Ooh, comes switch, but it's not successful this time. Coming into the infamous straight here before our chicane. Irvine is getting some better like straight line speed than us, by the way. But in terms of cornering, he's defending like his life depends on it. But at this point, I feel like we should. I think we need to tell someone to push. We need someone to push because we need to at least create a gap, enough gap to either catch up, which is not likely because the Ferraris have been performing besides Irvine. But he's coming quite close to us, very close to Damon Hill. But I hope we can. I feel like we can at least hold him for some fuel laps because he's definitely going to overtake at some point, especially seeing being at the straights coming up next. But can he defend here? Oh, and then there's Irvine just dive bombing into the corner. But can he get it back? Now we're going to attempt to push to get back that position. At least our pots are not doing too bad at the moment, so I'm not really worried about them. I'm just more worried that we sort of drop back even more. But at least let's see if Heinz does have quite a decent gap at the moment from Irvine, but he's closing in. It's definitely gonna close in very quickly. But that gap between him and Schumacher is massive. Right now, the championship winner, but it's looking as if he's gonna overtake us within the next 2 laps or 3 laps, I think. But he should at least push a bit, I feel. So we're lap 15 now and 16 now. Well, we have dropped the position again. So Damon Hill still running right behind Herbert and Rubens. I don't know what happened. I think they might have overtaken, but now there's Irvine getting into pits right here. So that is some good news. So we need to try to create a gap, but that gap between Dave Carthord and Mika Hakkinen is 13 seconds. And now that means we're not exactly in points right now, which I hope by the time we get to pit window, which is now, we should be able to capitalize back there. But you can see Damon Hill's cockpit, he's trying, at least I think. But now we see Heinz is quite close. He's back into 4th. He's close to Michael Schumacher. If Schumacher pitted, I'm not sure what happened. But now he's stuck by a back mark of the Prost. So that's gonna be definitely gonna cost us some time. Unless he can get them out. Hopefully he gets away from this driver. I don't know who it is. Probably Alan was good. John and Lacey was good. Alan Prost. There's Damon Hill being chased out by the Ferrari, and Johnny Herbert with the Stewards is ahead of us. So we definitely need a. But we need to pit soon. So I think hopefully by the next. Yeah, I think I did set them in 2 laps for Damon.
Heinz Harold Frentzen. Is it fourth position?
But I don't know. He's stuck in that. He's stuck like that. I don't know why there's no blue flag. But now there is a. I think there's a DNF. There is DNFs going on now. I can't see exactly. We just need to make sure we host the position. So I don't want to stray any like parts of the car at this point. But yeah, I think definitely Damien Hill is gonna get pitted in now. Ooh, what the hell? I thought they collided like that. Collided, sorry. So you see Damien Hill. He's up to 5th because he pitted earlier. Seems like we are back 7th and 8th. That pit stop was not good. But we still have one more pit stop at lap 41. Which means we can kind of solidify our position. We can try catch enough time for them if we can. Definitely lost here. I don't know why. But I feel like something bad might happen to us. But it usually is because one driver is DNFs. But it seems like unless someone DNFs on top of us, let's drop the pits. To be honest, at first trial, I calculate. Make him pit earlier. Oh wait, maybe. I think it was too much. I think maybe. Yeah, definitely put them 1 lap above with more fuel. And then, wait a second. Yes. I think I'll do that. But it seems like we should be good at the moment. Well, it seems like there's only 2 DNFs at the moment with the Williams and the Bar. But we definitely need to capitalize again at some point. Because at this rate, we're gonna either not do really well, gain to points, which will hamper our ability to get into what we want. And it seems like there's more DNFs following suit with Rubens, now Irvine getting DNF'd. Mika Hakkinen gets another DNF. I told you those McLarens are not that built, and like I don't know at this point of the game. But it's now between David Coulthard. We are P6. I think Damien Hill's P5. He's P4 by the way. Sorry, misinterpreted it. But right now, we could see us back in points. Just let's hope. Like, oh, and there's a DNF by David Coulthard. So there we go. This is good. This is what we wanted. Just make sure that, like, to be honest, I don't wanna like make sure they have the parts are in use. The barge was a bit high though. So that's kind of a concern, but I'm not too concerned of it right now. But and we have a retirement. Damien Hill was retired. I don't know what happened. I think it was driver error, or he could have had an engine issue. I'll check later on. The race progresses. But that means Heinz could get us into another podium as long as his car is fresh and we can run the rest of the race. But I did change everything of their car. I think I get the new engines, but other from that,
I've damaged the car too much to continue.
oh my gosh. That's one thing I didn't want to hear right now. Let's try to get him in the pits quickly, and his car just stopped there, and then that's a second DNF for us. This is not good for a championship right here. And Schumacher also DNF, so Herbert might actually take a win. Yeah, for the second time. Well, this is before the European Grand Prix then. But he could take a win here with Stewart, which will be a big downer for us as the race is almost near completion. Yes, this is the final standings. Stewart's and of course Benetton did well here. They got into podiums, and I don't know what the hell happened to the rest of the field. Everyone else DNF'd, which is unfortunate for us, seeing being that we might be overtaken now by Stewart Grand Prix, because they would get the maximum points. See Johnny Herbert getting his win at San Marino. Of course, the board's not happy with us. I'm not happy too, you know. But let's see the championship and see if we are still in the running. So we just have dropped. So both drivers have dropped in their drivers, and then constructors we did drop to 4th. Oh my gosh! But McLaren's also in the bin right here. But for the next episode we'll be doing Monaco. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Goodbye. I see you later and take care.